Hey, good morning, folks. This is Nick Randall with Western Marketing. Just about 10 o'clock here, Central Time. So want to thank everybody for taking time out of their schedules. Top on this call today, we have Jason Goodrich with Equitrust. Equitrust has been a fantastic partner of Western Marketing for forever, it seems like, and we've known Jason for a number of years. He's a great guy, knows the products, and we're going to be kind of excited to talk about there are two new products. And in addition to that, we're getting a lot of calls, and Equitrust is in the same boat, that just due to the Secure Act, we're seeing a lot of changes, obviously, with non-spousal beneficiaries and qualified funds and how to handle those. And there hasn't really been a big market, product out there that actually fits the market need. And ultimately, we're seeing, some changes from Equitrust perspective that will really help out those folks that are looking for a fixed index annuity. They're looking for that safety within an index annuity that obviously is inherently provided, but obviously for the non-spousal beneficiaries of Stretch IRAs, just to the Secure Act. And obviously, we're seeing this huge shift as older generations pass away, passing it on to their adult children, and obviously there's a need for some of this non-spousal Stretch IRA to actually work within a fixed index annuity. So we'll talk a little bit about that. A couple of housekeeping items here before we get started. If you do have questions, type those into GoToWebinar. We will address those at the end. If you are jumping in late, have to hop off early for whatever reason, we do have the entire version being recorded. I'll be sending an email here later on this afternoon that'll have information on Equitrust, the new products. We're talking about the stretches, and I'll see how to contract with Equitrust through Assurance Bay through us. So with that, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. I'll hand things over to Jason to get things started.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Nick. As Nick said, my name is Jason Goodrich. I'm the National Accounts Senior Manager with Equitrust Life Insurance Company. Good morning, everybody. Nick kind of set up what we're going to talk about, but really the focus of this presentation is going to be the two new fixed index annuities, which we just rolled out last Tuesday, I believe it was. And we already got business coming in, so they're received very well. They're very competitive, as you'll see as we go through it, which obviously is important. And then Nick talked about this, but we did this past fall, we brought back inherited IRAs and Stretch IRAs for ineligible beneficiaries, so post-Secure Act stuff. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. As Nick said, we're getting a lot of calls on it. We have a lot of business coming in on it. We're one of the few carriers that are offering that, and we do have some competitive advantages in that area against the ones that even are offering it. So we're really strong there. And I'm going to close with just a quick sales idea on Roth conversion. So it's kind of a unique idea I came up with a couple of years ago, and that we're going to be building out in 2022. But I'll give you kind of a sneak peek of what we're working on there. With that, and lastly, let me thank Western Marketing, Nick, Andy, all the folks over there. As Nick said, they've been with us forever. We've been around for 18 years since Equitrust launched their first product, and I'm pretty sure Western Marketing was there 18 years ago when we launched that product. So they've been a great partner with us, great group of guys and gals, and appreciate everything they do for us. With that, let's get going here. Okay, before I get into the two new products, I did want to just briefly touch on the four products that we had before launch. So these are the four, we have more than four products, excuse me. These are the four index annuities available at Equitrust before we launched the two new products. So now we have 6 index annuities. Just want to kind of touch on the other 4 products and kind of where our niches are there. Kind of 3 main areas where we really excel with the fixed index annuities. Number 1 is premium bonuses. We've had premium bonus products since the very beginning. We have 2 of them now. The Market Power bonus, which really was our flagship product. It's the first index annuity we ever rolled out. It's been the number 1 product with Equitrust every year but one. And it's a 10% upfront premium bonus. It's immediate cash bonus, so we add that to your account value day 1, no vesting. It's either a 14-year contract or a 10-year contract, depending on your state. And you can see we have the Market 10 bonus, which is a 6% bonus. Once again, it's all up front. However, it's a 6% bonus for any premium in the first 5 years. So if somebody's got an IRA that they're wanting to add to, or they have multiple CDs that they want to combine into one product, it's a great option there because you get the 6% bonus for any premium in the first 5 years. It's kind of the first area that we really excel. The second one is accumulation, and that's where we're seeing the biggest growth at Equitrust is in our accumulation products. The Market Value and the Market 7, they're both Very simple, very clean, easy to understand index annuities, no bonuses, no bells and whistles, just really everything's put into the cap and the rates for the maximum accumulation. You can see the market value is a 10-year contract and the market 7 is a 7-year contract. I mentioned a little bit ago, the market power bonus, has been our #1 product every year but 1 year. At the end of this year, it'll be every year but 2 years because the market value index is actually going to be our top product this year. We've seen huge growth in that product because of the rates and the caps. And the third area where I think we're very competitive and a little bit different is that we have a return to premium product. The Market 10 bonus, that I mentioned, has a 6% premium bonus for any premium in the first 5 years, also has a built-in return to premium guarantee. So what that means is any money they put into it, they're guaranteed to get back at any time. So if you have a client that puts $100,000 in there and 6 months later something happens and they need to get that, they're guaranteed to get the full $100,000 back. Okay, so it's just a guaranteed built-in return to premium in addition to having a 6% bonus and being a flexible premium fixed index annuity. So those are kind of the three main competitive advantages. I'll back up to the market value and market 7 again. As I mentioned, those are our accumulation products. And the 2 new products I'm going to talk about next, they would fall in this area as products that are really built for accumulation. With that, let's get to them. So the 2 new products are both fixed index annuities, both 10-year products. And what differentiates them from our other 4 products is they have buy-up accounts, right? So they have strategies within them that we'll talk about where the client can pay a fee to get a higher cap or higher rate. Okay, and we'll get into that here in just a second. But let's just look at the specs first of the first product. The first one is the Market Max Index Annuity. Now, if you're familiar with our market value that I just mentioned a little bit ago, it looks very similar to that. It's a 10-year product, issues up to age 80, no commission reductions. It's a flexible premium product. Okay, so very clean, simple product, no bonuses or anything like that. What differentiates it is it does have buy-up accounts that we're going to talk about in a second. So it has 2 index annuity accounts that are not buy-up accounts and has 4 that are buy-up accounts. Now, if they choose a buy-up account, the fee is going to be 1%. Okay, so whatever money they put into one of the buy-up index options, there'll be a 1% fee on that percentage of money that's in there. And you'll see this a little better when we get to the next slide and walk through the rates and caps. Okay, so here's the current rates, caps, and illustration rates. So first off, what you see, and let me get my laser pointer here, might help you. There we go. So what you see here is you got 3 index options that don't have a fee, right? So we have a fixed account, we have an S&P point-to-point cap, and we have a Mark 5. So any money they put into any of these three strategies would just be like a typical fixed index annuity. It would go in there, it would earn whatever it gets up to the cap, and there would be no charge or no fee to it. And then we have 4 down here where the client would pay a 1% fee. Okay, now this 1% fee is locked in. It can never change, right? The client never has to worry about going up. But whatever money they put into these 4 index strategies, annually there would be a 1% fee on the account value in that strategy. Okay, so here's the current rates. You can see the no fee options. We have 225, 4% cap on the S&P, which is a very competitive cap for a no fee option, 90% par, once again, very competitive. And then you can see how much higher it gets if they pay the 1% fee. And this is what it amounts to for an illustrated rate. You can see very high. I mean, if they chose the Focus 50 with a 1% fee, the illustrated rates is well over 8%. However, what I like to look at is the actual effective illustrated rate. And what this is this is the illustrated rate taking into account that 1% fee. So at the end of 10 years, what would their annualized return look like taking into account the fee that's coming out of their contract every year? And that's what this number shows. So this is the important one, I think. So you can see, though, it's very high, 7.73 on the Focus 50, 6.63 on the Market 5, and it's very competitive. Industry-wide, if you look at some competitor products that have fee option products, what you'll see is many of them have 1 index strategy, maybe 2 index strategies that have a really high illustrated rate, but very few have multiple strategies like we do with very high rates. Typically, they either have a vol control strategy that illustrates really well, or they have an S&P strategy that illustrates really well. With Equitrust, and I think our big advantage is all of ours do. right? We have the vol control here with these two strategies, and they illustrate at 773 and 663 effectively. We have S&P with these two strategies, a point-to-point cap, a point-to-point par on the S&P, illustrate at 482 and 462, very competitive. Okay, so just to recap a little bit, we have the three strategies that have no fees. So any money they allocate to these strategies, there would be no charge on. We have the four strategies where there's a 1% fee. Now, one other important thing to look at, I think, is what is the client getting for that 1% fee? That's important, especially competitively. So we can compare here. So we have a point-to-point cap with no fee, as I told you. We have a point-to-point cap with a 1% fee, and you can see the difference. By paying that 1% fee, the client's going from a 4% cap to an 8.5% cap. So it's over doubling by doing that. Illustrated rates going up by over 3% by doing that, and the effective illustrated rates going up by over 2%. So by paying the 1% fee, they're effectively earning over 2% more a year, even after they pay the fee. Okay, so it's they're getting a lot of bang for the buck. And when you look at these products, I think that's what's really important to look for, is what are they getting for the 1% fee? Same thing with the Mark V, right? We have a Mark V with no fee, has a 90% participation rate. That's very competitive in the industry at 90%. They pay the 1% fee, that goes all the way up to 130%. Okay, so from a 537 to up 2.5% to 771 illustrated rate, and then to a 663 effective rate, right? So up to what's that, a 1.5 higher. So I encourage you to look at that when you look at these products. What are they getting for the fee? And you can see with us, they're getting quite a bit. Okay, that's the first product, the Market Max. Here's the second one, the Market Force. It's a little bit different than what we have now. So it's single premium. It's a 10-year design, as I said. It has an 8% upfront premium bonus. And just like previously when I talked about premium bonuses, this is all upfront, right? So no vesting schedule, just 8% cash bonus immediately. It goes all the way up to age 80 with this, and it pays full commission to age 80. Other than that, it's very similar to the other product. It has 4 buy-up options. One of the differences is the fee's a little higher. Okay, it's a 1.5% fee. Once again, it's locked in for the life of the contract, so it won't change, but the fee is a little bit higher. So kind of the keys with this one are the 8% bonus up to age 80. So let's look at the rates here. So same deal, there's the 3 no fee options and the 4 fee, but it's 1.5%. There's our current rates, illustrated rate, effective rate. You can see effective rate, illustrated rate of over 7%, effective rates almost 5.5. That's a really high effective annualized rate when you consider they're also getting an 8% bonus. One of the big problems and one of the reasons we've seen a reduction in bonus business is the rates of cap just aren't that high in the current environment. This is a way to get a big upfront bonus to help the client out, but also get a lot of growth potential within it. Okay, you can see the current rate, 2.5 or 2.25 to 5%. So by paying that fee, they're getting a lot more bang for their buck. On the Mark V, it's going from 50 to 110. From a 3% illustrated rate to 654. Right, so once again, getting a lot of bang for their buck. So, and then the one other nice thing about the Market Force and the 8% bonus is if the client is a little fee adverse, right, they're a little concerned about paying the fee and their account value going down, if the market doesn't go up in that year, the bonus will cover them for 5 years, right? Because remember, they're starting out with $108,000 because of the 8% bonus. So even if the market goes down every year for 5 years and they lose a 1.5%, that 1.5% fee each year for 5 years, at the end of that time, they're still going to have more account value in their contract and premium they put into it, right? And obviously, the likelihood of the market going down 5 years in a row is low. But it gives them the peace of mind to know, even if it does, they still haven't lost any money, right? So I think that's a nice kind of feature of the 8% bonus product. So just to recap, the competitive advantages, number one, simplicity. As you've seen with all of our products, and kind of the motto with Equitrust since day one is to try to keep things as simple as we can, offer clean, simple products that are easy to understand and easy for you to explain to your clients. Now, we did it by only having 4 buy-up accounts and 2 no-fee accounts. I'll tell you, there are some products out there, one I know of that has 24 crediting options on a similar product. That can really complicate things for a client. Number 2, the vol control and the S&P are very competitive. As I mentioned earlier, with most carriers, one or the other, either the Vol Control or the S&P are competitive with us. They both are. And what that does is it gives the clients a lot of options at issue to diversify between the different strategies. But even more important is at renewal, they can do account transfers, right? They can reallocate, and they have a lot of other options. They're not stuck or tied to one strategy with us. I'll put the third and fourth thing together because I think they're very important. We'll go down here first. Annual fee will not increase, right? With some products out there, the fees can change. With us, they can't. So it's either a 1% fee or 1.5% fee, and it's guaranteed. It will never go up. At the same time, renewal rates are very important on these products and renewal rate integrity. As you may know, we publicize all of our renewal rates. So they're all on our website. We're very transparent there. We take a lot of pride in our renewal rate history. It's like we have a lot of integrity there. You know, if you don't, your renewal rates come down and your fee goes up, you know, a client can get squeezed from both sides there. So I think these are both very important things to look at. Full commission age 80 that I mentioned. And the bonus in the market force has the premium bonus day one up to issue age 80 full bonus, right? In addition to the account value growth. Okay, so that's kind of a quick overview of the two products. They're both available. There is product training required, so do not solicit any business on this until you make sure you do the product training. And obviously you can reach out to me or probably reach out to Nick in Western Marketing. They're able to assist you with anything on this. With that, let me move to the Stretch and Inherited IRAs with Equitrust. This past fall, we did bring this back for Post-Secure Act business. Now, if you're not familiar with the new rules of the Secure Act, let me just do a quick kind of overview here. There's basically two categories of beneficiaries now. The first is eligible beneficiaries. We refer to this as Stretch. And they have to fall in one of these four categories, either the spouse of the deceased, a disabled person, a chronically ill person, or an individual not more than 10 years younger than the deceased owner, so maybe like a brother or sister or something. If they fall into one of these categories, then the old rules apply, basically. They take out RMDs over their life expectancy, kind of like they did before. However, most people and most stretches don't fall under these rules. Most fall under the ineligible beneficiaries, which came about as part of the Secure Act. And this is just anyone who does not meet one of these four criteria. At Equitrust, we are taking them for both of these, okay? The eligible beneficiary, we consider a stretch because they're stretching it over their lifetime. The ineligible beneficiary, we refer to as an inherited IRA, okay? It's kind of internal terminology we use, but it's terminology you'll see when you fill out paperwork with this too, so I just want to point that out. Okay, so what products are available? Well, for the eligible beneficiary, they can do any of our deferred annuities, right? Anything but our SPIA. And we're unique in that we allow income riders to be added to the products too. So they can do a stretch with an income rider added to it. We can illustrate that, okay? And like I said, the old rules basically apply, so they just stretch it over their lifetime. So they take out RMDs every year using the pre-Secure Act tables. As far as ineligible beneficiaries, they can do every product except for the market power bonus and the confidence income, which is our SPIA. So they can do any of our 10-year or less index annuities or fixed annuities. We also allow income riders on this. So even on an ineligible beneficiary, they can add an income rider and we can illustrate it. Now, the way the rules work for the ineligible beneficiaries, they don't need to take RMDs, okay? So there's no money that they need to take out of it. What they need to do is in the 10th year after death, it all needs to be converted to non-qualified. They need to pay taxes on all of it by then. Now, that doesn't mean they need to liquidate the contract in 10 years. What that means is they need to pay taxes on it. So with us, if they did a market value with us, for example, at the end of the 10th year, whatever account value is left, we would 1099 the client, and then we would just convert the money to non-qualified internally. Okay, so what most people are probably going to do is take out withdrawals every year and slowly pay that taxes. But whatever they haven't done on that, we just convert it to non-qualified. Most other carriers require you to surrender the contract, I believe. It's kind of a unique thing we're doing there too. So we have a couple nice pieces to help you with this. I can go into a little more detail than I did here. They're on our website. We can obviously email these out to you as well. But one is just the rules. This is a really nice piece that walks through the Secure Act and what changed and what the rules are now. and what's the difference between an eligible beneficiary and an ineligible beneficiary. A very good educational piece for yourself and for your clients. And the second piece is a sales piece. So it's like a point of sale marketing piece. And it goes through the advantages of doing a Stretch IRA or an inherited IRA. It walks through a case example showing how much they'll get more by deferring the taxes on that, right? By waiting to pay the taxes until they have to. So 2 really good pieces on the website. And like I said, we can definitely get those out to you. Okay, last thing I want to hit is a little sales concept that I came up with a couple of years ago. I want to preface this by saying this is really just conceptual at this point. So we don't have any marketing pieces. There's nothing we can email out to you. There's no illustrations or calculators. It's really just conceptual, but I think going through this, you'll still get an idea of how this can work for you and your clients. And we are in the process of building out some material, like a calculator and some things you can use for this idea. So hoping the first quarter we'll have a lot more stuff on this, but I at least want to give you a sneak peek of the idea and of what's coming with Equitrust with this idea. Okay, so let me set this up a little bit. Obviously, there's a lot of advantages to a client doing a Roth IRA conversion. The one big downfall, though, is obviously they have to pay the taxes, right? When they convert it, they got to come up with the money to pay the taxes the following year, which can be a big dollar amount. So the basis of this idea is to have the carrier pay the taxes for the client with the premium bonus from the product. Okay, so I'll go through this fairly slow, but if you have questions, obviously you can reach out. So for example, we're going to say they have a $250,000 IRA sitting somewhere, and they're going to move it to Equitrust. So the full $250,000 will come to Equitrust. We are going to split that money between 2 products. We're going to put 72% of the money, a little under $180,000, into the market power bonus. That is our 10% bonus product. We're going to put 28% of the money, which is a little over $70,000, into the market value index, which is our biggest accumulation product. Okay. So they're going to have 2 identical products set up with us, both our IRAs, when we issue them. Then we're going to either immediately or whenever they want to, we're going to convert the market value to a Roth IRA. With Equitrust, you can do that at any time. You don't have to wait a year or anything. You can do it immediately, or you can wait a couple months and do it, whenever it makes sense. So they're going to convert that. So obviously that's going to become a taxable event. So I'm going to assume a 22% tax rate. And that means they're going to owe next year $15,553 taxes for that amount they converted to a Roth. Okay, let's go to the other side here. They got that market power bonus. It's going to get a 10% premium bonus immediately. Remember, it's a cash bonus. For this example, I am going to use the fixed rate of 1.1%, which obviously is not very high, but the reason I'm doing that is I want to guarantee what their value is going to be. You could use an index option and get a higher number here. But I think for this example, I want to guarantee exactly how much money is going to be there at the end of the first year. So they get a 10% bonus guaranteed. They get the 1.1 fixed rate guaranteed. So at the end of the year 1, the market power bonus is going to be $199,403. Okay, and that's guaranteed. At that point, 1 year and 1 day later, they can take out a free withdrawal. So which is 10% on all of our index annuities. So a 10% free withdrawal means they will be able to withdraw $19,994. Okay, so they have $15,553 taxes due. They have a free withdrawal of $19,994. Why is that number more than that number? Well, that's because it's a gross withdrawal because there's going to be taxes due on the withdrawal, right? So the gross withdrawal is $19,940. The net withdrawal is $15,553, which happens to perfectly match up with the taxes due, right? So they get that check mailed to them, and they can write a check to the IRS to pay their taxes, right? Recover the amount they paid there. Okay, so at the end of that day, at the end of 1 year and 1 day, client's going to have a Roth IRA, market value worth $75,208. You're going to have a market power bonus worth $179,462. The total there is $254,670. So a year earlier, they put in $250,000 premium. 1 year later, they're going to have $254,670. So it grew by over $4,000. But the big kicker is they've converted over $75,000 now to a Roth IRA. and paid $0 out of pocket. Okay, so that's kind of the idea. So really the idea behind that is they're taking a free withdrawal out of it, basically of the premium bonus, to pay the taxes on the conversion. As I mentioned at the beginning, I don't have any marketing material. I can't send out the PowerPoint. There's nothing I can mail out or calculator. However, we are working on stuff. So this is more of a sneak peek type thing, but you can still use the idea in your practice, hopefully. But hopefully in the first quarter, we'll have some more information on this and another Roth idea that we're working on as well, too. So with that, that is all I have. I'll pass it back over. First off, I appreciate everybody joining today and taking the time. Wish everybody the happiest of holidays. And I'm going to pass it back over to Nick and see if he has anything he wants to add or any questions.
Yeah. No, great presentation. Thanks so much, Jason. Some very unique, cool products and some very cool concepts when it comes to Roth conversions. Obviously, we've seen a lot in the news about Roths and being on the chopping block for high income earners. So we'll see what happens with legislation on that. But ultimately, Roths are definitely a good way to go. And there's always an interest in converting money over to Roth. So a very cool concept. And obviously, for the non-spousal bennies, we're seeing a huge demand for that. So with that, that's kind of all I wanted to address here. Want to thank everyone for taking time out of their schedules. If you jumped in late, just so you know, this was recorded, so I'll be sending a replay of that to all who registered here later on this afternoon. In addition, how you can contract and a little bit about their new products too, and we'll kind of address all that in one simple email. But if you do have questions, there's the Equitrust number on the screen. Our number here at Western Marketing is 800-852-7152, and we're right about the half-hour limit here, so I think we're good. That's kind of all I had. Jason, thanks so much, and definitely, as always, appreciate the partnership with you guys. And everybody have a great holiday season, as Jason said, and thanks for taking time out of our schedules here once again.
Yep, thank you, everyone.